everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Bradford's Vikings. With that, let's get you on up to Baltimore as we welcome in our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. And for Rawls in his two playoff games, Charles, it was yin and yang. He had 164 yards in the wild card win over Detroit, but those numbers crashed down to earth against Atlanta. 11 carries, just 34 yards.
Injured from an injury in 2015. And then as he came along, started to gain some momentum, got hurt again. So it was a tough season for him. I think Seattle's going to continue to look to add to the running back position through the draft, free agency. They like to have a lot of runners around.
There's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Sherrills to return it. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. They come out here in the eye. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time to feature the offensive starters and to give some love to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
He's been to the Pro Bowl already, battled a few injuries, but he's back and better than ever. Has added a little yoga to his regimen in order to make him more nimble. That makes it that much harder for the defenders to catch him.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. Back deep is Devin Hester. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production, and that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Anthony Barr almost defies description at times. He's built like a defensive end, but he plays outside linebacker and does it quite well.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here we go now. 339. 339. 58.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And his throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense, hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. To throw is Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Played. And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And oh, he caught it up. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle. And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches. 65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive. I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game. Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right? Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. 2nd down, Bradford. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
First down, Bradford. Pass incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. That'll bring up second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Here, the NFL on EA Sports. Now Bradford on second down. That's caught at the 3. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 3rd down at less than a yard.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, here's Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Now, partner, let me take a quick turn here and ask you about the Dallas Cowboys, their season on the whole. Because what an incredible regular season, great storylines, but then they lost at home to Green Bay. Their season, a success or a failure?
The NFL is a results-based group, as we well know, right? Did you win the Super Bowl or didn't you? So, in that case, it wasn't a success for Dallas, but I don't really buy into that. I think this season was a success because it sets them up for more runs towards get.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and that'll bring up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kurz. As the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Final play of the half. Bradford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now it looks like we got the big tight end still down after the last play. Well, you can bet that they would hate to be without his services. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Bradford. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. On the return, Hester. He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really...
Wilson now off the bootleg. And his throw here is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was a target. 3rd down here.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's 4th down. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here. They come out here in the eye. To throw, Bradford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill in there to get him for a loss of 5. Now Bradford on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football? Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking
he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Here's Hester. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so